Are you going to behave yourself on Microsoft Word, or do I have to revoke your editing privileges?
No, I behave because otherwise it's going to kill my fucking eyesight.
Good. There's a good bitch.
Don't pretend like because you're being recording me now that you're going to get any control of me. You fat little turd.
Oh, okay. Right. Police officers are trained to deal with criminals, accidents, and emergencies.
Wake up!
I'm practicing, so it doesn't sound like I've got a big juicy cock in my mouth. Alright? Police officers are trained to deal with criminals, accidents, and emergencies. But what happens when they're called to something supernatural? In this video, me and my friend Ricky are looking into disturbing paranormal cases that forced police to investigate, and in some instances, even document what they saw. These are times the law met the unknown. From famous hauntings to brutal murders, these cases are scarier because they're not just ghost stories, they made it into official police reports. If you love mysterious and haunting stories, or you're just into all sorts of weird and wonderful topics, please hit the subscribe button for a weekly upload.
They never told you, Chad, that you've got blowjob eyes.
Yeah, my uncle let me know that at the age of 5.
Fucking nuts.
In the late 1970s, a quiet council house in Enfield, London became the centre of one of the world's most infamous hauntings. It all began when single mother Peggy Hodgson reported that her daughters, Janet and Margaret, were hearing knocks on the walls and seeing furniture move. When police arrived, they weren't prepared for what happened next. Constable Carolyn Heaps gave a signed statement saying she saw a heavy chair slide across the living room floor, moving nearly 4 feet without anyone touching it. She even examined the chair afterwards just to make sure there was no wires or trickery, but found absolutely nothing. The disturbances escalated, toys thrown across rooms, Janet speaking in a deep male voice, and even claims of levitation. Investigators from the Society of Physical Research documented hours of recordings. So, Ricky, have you seen the video of Janet speaking in the deep male voice?
No, but I could picture it being like the husband coming home and being like, Janet, love, what's for dinner? Teriyaki chicken.
Teriyaki chicken?
Yeah, I don't know, it just comes to me head.
But the video is very, very, very interesting because she's sitting there going, oh yeah, pack a fag, give me a cigarette, love, yeah, oi mum, what's for dinner? Yeah. It's
What's
really
Pat
weird.
Butcher?
It's basically Pat Butcher. I'll play the clip now.
Is anybody there? No. Who's there?
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who?
So, after looking at the clip, it's hard to determine, because back in the 70s, kids at that age smoked 50 a day anyway, didn't they? So it was probably very easy, I think she was 12 or 13, of a child that age to put on a voice to sound like that. Do you know what I mean? But...
Well, yeah, after doing a day's work in the factory, 50 a day as well, coming back. You all right, Dad?
You all right, Dad? Come and sit on my lap, Dad. I'm pretty sure the geezer who was carrying out the paranormal investigations actually physically made Janet have a mouthful of water while she was speaking in this deep voice, and the voice still came from her somehow, which is really weird. So
What? Like crystal clear still?
Crystal clear still, yeah. I mean, I have no idea, like, the authenticity of that, but yeah, she had a mouthful of water and the voice was still coming from her, which is very, very freaky.
Yeah, I'd shit myself.
I just have, mate. But skeptics argued Janet admitted faking some of these incidents for attention. Critics point to suspicious photographs and exaggerated witness testimonies. Still, believers emphasise one key point. The police actually documented a part of this haunting, and why would a police officer risk her career to file a report if nothing actually happened? So the Enfield Poltergeist is obviously very, very famous. It's what The Conjuring 2 is based on. Are you a fan of the Conjuring films?
Yep, they're very good.
They
I
are
enjoy
very
them.
good. They are very good indeed. So if you've seen The Conjuring 2, Ricky, that house where they're in the second film, that's what the Enfield Poltergeist is based on.
That would shit me up.
It would, mate. It would. This case is so bizarre, purely based on the fact that it ended up in a courtroom. In 1981, 19-year-old Arnie Johnson stabbed his landlord, Alan Bono, during a heated argument. Normally, this would have been an open and shut case. However, Johnson's defense shocked the nation. They claimed he was possessed by a demon. Police had been aware of some strange events leading up to the crime in question. The Glatzel family, who knew Johnson, had reached out for help because their youngest son was allegedly possessed. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren became involved, claiming the boy was tormented by multiple demons. During an exorcism, Arnie challenged the demon to take him instead of the boy. When Johnson later killed his landlord, the Warrens insisted he was under demonic possession. His lawyers attempted to argue not guilty by reason of possession. The judge quickly dismissed this argument, stating there was no legal precedent to allow such a defence. Johnson was convicted of manslaughter and served 5 years of a 10 to 20 years prison sentence, but the case left a cultural mark. To this day, it is remembered as one of the only times possession entered an American courtroom. Police and court officials could never prove demons were involved, but official records show the claim was made and it rocked the justice system. The issue with this is if Arnie had got away with shanking his landlord to death during a heated argument, every subsequent murder would have made the defense of, I didn't do it, I was possessed by Satan. Do you know what I mean? Oh, Ricky, why did you kick the shit out of Joe? Abaddon made me do it.
Demon was inside me. He said, stab that little prick.
The demons told me to suffocate the puppy.
But the problem is with it, though, is also, it's like you said, if you have a demon possession admitted in court, then everyone else is going to do it. But then surely that's a psychological, you'd have to go down that way, like a loony bin.
You would do. I mean, there is a case coming up which we're going to talk about in this video, which is very similar to the case of Arnie Johnson, but it happened in the UK.
Well, just quickly, though, and I don't think you're about to use this in the edit, so I'll try and say it, but you probably definitely won't be able to use it. So in America, more of the African Americans
Ricky, that is inherently racist. You cannot say that. So now, Ricky, we're going to travel back to the 19th century, to one of the earliest cases where police became involved in alleged paranormal activity. In 1848, two sisters, Maggie and Kate Fox, began reporting mysterious rapping sounds inside their home in Hydesville, near Rochester, New York. They claimed the knocks were messages from the dead. Neighbours and local authorities were drawn in as word spread. Police officers, sceptical but curious, investigated after disturbances drew large crowds. Witnesses swore the knocks happened in response to questions, as if an unseen intelligence was communicating.
When it says mysterious rapping, I was thinking like Tupac.
Maybe it was Tupac. Tupac travelled back to the 1800s, and I don't know any Tupac songs, actually, so...
Well, that fucked you right up there.
It did. That ruined my joke. This wasn't just a haunting. It became the spark that ignited the spiritualist movement, which swept across America and Europe. Seances, mediums, and spirit communication all trace back to the Fox's sisters' strange house.
Sister, gonna get that floor, sister. Sorry.
However, decades later, Maggie confessed publicly that the raps had been faked using toe joints. She even demonstrated the trick on stage. Skeptics used her confession to discredit spiritualism entirely, but believers argue that the sisters may have been pressured to recant, and that some early phenomena still can't be explained. For police of the time, it was an unsolvable disturbance that launched a new religion. So, imagine that. Oh, that's actually quite a good scam, actually. how I can't click any joints in my body other than my wrist. So if I was to pull this trick off, I'd have to go like, spirits, knock twice if you are present. Oh, imagine if one morning they woke up and their toes seized up and they can't make them click, so they had to improvise, and they've got like the crowd of people in the room, and they're like, right, everybody just close your eyes. You need to close your eyes for this one. Everyone's got their eyes closed, like, spirits, if you are in the room with us, please communicate. And then one of the Fox sisters are just like, did you hear that? In 2011, in Gary, Indiana, Latoya Ammons and her 3 children began experiencing terrifying events in their rental home. They reported swarms of flies in winter, shadowy figures pacing the rooms, and violent outbursts from the children. One boy was said to have growled in a deep voice, whilst another child was allegedly lifted and thrown across the room.
Yeah.
I shouldn't laugh, but it's quite funny, isn't it? Things escalated when the children were taken to hospital in front of doctors, nurses, and Department of Child Services. One of the boys reportedly walked up the hospital walls backwards and flipped over his grandmother. Several witnesses signed statements confirming this. The police became deeply involved. Gary officers filed multiple reports documenting the visits to the house. Some refused to re-enter after claiming they felt sick or witnessed unexplained shadows. One veteran officer later admitted he believed the home was cursed. The story became so famous that the Indianapolis Star ran an extensive investigation, publishing official documents. Paranormal investigator Zach Bagans even purchased the house to film his documentary, Demon House. Skeptics argue that it was all in mass hysteria combined with poor living conditions, but signed police and hospital reports remain chilling. After all, these weren't just random ghost hunters. They were professionals. This case is legendary. It began in 1992 when a young woman named Estefana Lazaro died after allegedly using a Ouija board. Her grieving family soon reported terrifying disturbances in their apartment. Shadowy figures, whispers, and objects moving on their own. Police were eventually called, and according to reports, they too witnessed bizarre activity. One officer claimed to see a crucifix on the wall turn upside down. Another described hearing strange bangs and seeing a mysterious brown substance appear on a table. Somebody had a poo on the table and didn't own up to it, basically.
They dropped one, didn't they?
They dropped one, and the ghost did it. The ghost did it. What makes this case particularly chilling is that the police supposedly filed an official report acknowledging the strange events. While skeptics suggest the details grew more dramatic with the retellings, the Vallecas Case remains Spain's most famous hauntings. For many, the fact that the police were willing to put their names on record is what keeps this story alive. With this one, it could probably be put down to, for the family, I think, maybe mass hysteria. They're grieving the loss of a family member, and they've added that grief to their superstition, because obviously playing with a Ouija board is on paper not a very good idea. I wouldn't touch one. I'm pretty sure fucking Hasbro used to sell the Ouija boards, didn't they, back in the day in toy shops?
I think we've all been there. I mean, I remember being out in the woods doing the Ouija board once, and you went to like the letter U, then the letter R. Then it started. I went, this fucker can't spell. I'll give up, Liz.
Oh yeah, trust me to get the dyslexic ghost. Let me call the dyslexicist.
Yeah.
Your mother cooks socks in hell.
No, the Ouija boards are, they're fucked up. Because everyone's like, oh, you're pushing it. No, you're pushing it. Fuck you, I don't give a fuck who's pushing it. Can we stop?
And then the ghost who just wants a bit of attention is just going, it's me. It's me. I had never heard of this case until I started doing research for this very video, Ricky. So, in 1974, police in the small town of Ossett in England encountered one of the most shocking and disturbing crimes in modern British history. It began when Michael Taylor, a husband and father, became heavily involved in a local Christian prayer group. Neighbours and friends said his behaviour changed dramatically after he attended meetings led by a woman named Marie Robinson. His wife accused him of having an affair, and Taylor began to display violent mood swings, claiming he was possessed by evil forces. Concerned, a local clergy performed an all-night exorcism on Taylor, lasting nearly 8 hours. The priest claimed to have cast out dozens and dozens of demons, everything from blasphemy and violence to lust and madness. However, they admitted that they had not been able to drive all of them out. They warned that the spirit of murder still remained inside of Michael. Hours later, Taylor brutally killed his wife Christine in their home. When police arrived at the scene, they were horrified. Christine's body was mutilated beyond recognition, with Taylor tearing out her eyes and basically her whole face. He was found wandering the streets, naked, covered in blood, saying that this is the blood of Satan. In court, the defense argued that Taylor was under the influence of a psychotic episode triggered by the exorcism. The jury accepted diminished responsibility, and Taylor was found not guilty of murder but guilty of manslaughter due to insanity. He spent years in a psychiatric hospital before his eventual release. For many, this case raises chilling questions. Did the attempted exorcism unleash something far worse, or was Michael Taylor simply just a mentally ill man pushed over the edge by religious obsession? Police who saw the crime scene never forgot what they walked into, and one officer described it as the most gruesome scene of his career. So, I have an opinion on this one. Some bloke got caught doing the dirty on his missus, acted batshit crazy, blamed it on the devil. When that wasn't good enough, offed her. Bish bash bosh. Job done. That's how I would do it.
The priest is not the priest, he's the local dealer. Them two went on a quick 8-hour binge of LSD, acid, cocaine, and God knows everything. And then went back and smashed her head in. Took her lips off, wore them, pulled the eyes out, put them as earrings, down the old road naked, old cock flapping about in the wind. Have a look at me.
That is a traumatizing image you have just put in my head. Police are called to paranormal reports more often than you might think. Across the US and Europe, officers respond to late-night calls from cemeteries. Reports of glowing lights, screams, or shadowy figures moving among the graves. Most end with the officers finding nothing, but occasionally strange details slip into local police logs, leaving a chilling reminder. Even the dead can end up on the night shift. Skeptics point out that in most of these cases, police didn't actually solve anything. They just filed reports on what was claimed. Human imagination, hoaxes, and stress can all explain these strange experiences. But the fact that the trained officers documented these events gives more weight than an average ghost story. Let me know what you think. Were these genuine encounters with the paranormal, or just moments when fear and belief got the better of people, even the police? Let me know in the comments of which case creeped you out the most. And if you enjoy exploring the unexplained, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a new dive into the strange and disturbing.
Yeah, you can ring my bell.
Thanks for that, Ricky.